Studies show that people who reflect regularly are 23% happier, more productive, and less stressed. Yes, please. If you're feeling stuck or overwhelmed, this simple habit can really help. Do you ever feel like you've wasted time without much to show for it? Or that you are just like spinning your wheels and nothing worth noting is really coming out of it? I have, and I do sometimes, and it feels horrible. It leaves you feeling defeated, which is terrible for your productivity and happiness. That's why reflection is super important. It's a clear record of your progress, lessons, wins, patterns, sticky points, so much more. That is what I'm going to teach you today. So you'll walk away from today's video feeling excited to reflect and confident you know how to do it. But first, let's talk about it. So why is reflecting important? As planners, we are really good at consistently thinking and planning ahead. Our brains are really good at living in the future. And yes, this is an incredible quality that benefits us and our families in many ways. However, that makes it tricky for us to do two other things: to be in the present and look back on the past. You've heard me say it 1,000 times. Reflecting honors the life you've lived. It honors your time spent. And that's important because time is our most precious commodity. On top of honoring our time spent, reflecting also helps you gain clarity on what's working and what's not working. Is writing down 15 to-dos every day working for you? Probably not. It doesn't me. Are you tired all the time? Maybe doom scrolling through Instagram just before bed isn't serving you well. Maybe when you actually put down your phone and pick up a book before you go to bed is actually working. Reflecting also helps you track progress towards your intentions and, if you are doing this, your goals. I don't have time to get into this, but tracking your progress on things is huge in actually making it happen. You said XYZ is important. That's future planning. Did you do X, Y, and Z? That's reflecting. Reflecting also reduces stress and increases mindfulness. Just taking a pause to reflect will help our brains move from do, which tends to be stressful, and into a more contemplative state, which is mindful and calming. I want more of that. I want less do and more mindful and calming. And last but certainly not least, reflecting helps prevent burnout by helping you prioritize what truly matters. This is values-based reflecting. What have I been preaching? So here are 5 opportunities to reflect that naturally fit into the flow of our life. Number 1, daily planning. I'm not saying you have to reflect on a daily basis. This is not the reflection hill I will die on. When I was in a season of really little people, I did not reflect daily. Now that I'm more out of like the little kids' weeds, I reflect on a daily basis. It also helps that I'm in the daily planner, which lends itself nicely to this, as you will see. So how do you do this? Keep it short and simple. Like, do not overthink this. I talked about this in my How to Plan Your Day video, which I will post here. But essentially, I do 2-3 sentences. First sentence, I do like a general recap of the day. Then the last 1 or 2 sentences, you can use any sort of helpful prompt or something that resonates with you. Like, what were your wins today? That's a big one I go to, which is a lot like tracking your progress. So what were your wins today? What went well today and what could have gone better? Or what am I grateful for? Use a planner or journal to jot down your thoughts. I got you covered on both. Okay, if you are more of a journal reflector, I have 2 great options for you. So Sprout Planner has 2 different journals. They are the same on the inside, just 2 different outsides. It is book bound. We have ribbons, and when it opens, it does lay flat because it is Smith sewn. So it lays flat. Here's what the inside looks like. This is every page. These are 2 great options. And then the other options is our notebook. So this is an 8x10 notebook, and it is a laminated cover, spiral binding. We have the inside pages look like this. So you can see I use it, and then we have a pocket in the back. Feedback on these are, people love these, and I do too. They are great. They are great notebooks. So we have 2 cover options here. If you want to reflect in your planner, in the daily planner, we have on the bottom of our daily page, I designed a spot right here at the bottom
where you can reflect on your day, which is what I do. So when I go to plan my day, I just go to the day before and I fill in the reflection for that day and then go ahead and plan it. So those are, you got your journals or your notebooks if you prefer that, or you have your spread planner.
Also, here's a smart tip. Reflect at the same time every day. That way it becomes a well-oiled habit. I habit stack it by including it part of my daily planning routine. Okay, the second opportunity to reflect is weekly reflecting. This is a hill I'll start dying on. I really do think reflecting on a weekly basis is a helpful practice because a week is a substantial enough time to have things happen. So this can be a deeper dive into your habits, productivity, and mindset. It's also a great place to jot down the memorable things, which is where I always start.
Okay, so in your weekly planner, the first thing that you are going to do, this isn't filled out, so we're just going to pretend. So I designed the weekly planner to have space right down here that you can include your weekly reflection. Of course, it's blank, it's unlabeled, so you can do whatever you want with it. It has dot grid on there, but I intentionally included space where you can reflect on the week down there. So first things first, look at your planner to review the week. Looky-loo at your schedule and look over at your tasks and to-dos. Just look over your week. If you have the daily planner, you can read your daily reflections down here for the day. And then down here, if you are reflecting in this spot or on the daily planner, you could do it right here or again in your journal, wherever you want to. Jot down the memorable events, moments, people, etc. Like when you look back on this week, if you're at the end of the year and you're looking back over your weeks, what is it that you want to remember about this week? Those are kind of the memorable things. Next, you can get a little more granular with these questions, like what were my biggest wins this week? What challenges did I face and how did I handle them? Did I do what I said I was going to do? Intentions. If you are a goal setter, did you make progress on your goals? You do this before you plan your week ahead, so you can adjust your plans for the upcoming week as necessary based on what you learned in your reflection sesh. So again, you could use your planner or a journal to do this. Personally, I've created my own little weekly reflection printable that I do. So this started when I did Marie Forleo's Time Genius, in which she provided a Time Genius weekly reflection. Oh, actually, this is it right here. You can see Time Genius weekly review. So I did that for a while. Then I tweaked it to fit me. So this is now my weekly review set up with kind of more tailored questions. I reflect. I have a vision board for the year, and then I revise and look ahead. So that is my weekly reflection process.
Okay, reflection opportunity number 3, monthly reflection. You will find me dead on this hill for the record. So this really allows you to look at the bigger picture. Patterns, growth, challenges. This is where the magic happens. Weird time in our life. Again, you can do this anywhere, but just so you know, in Sprouted Planners, you have a dedicated space and directed questions specifically for your monthly reflections. Let's walk through it.
Okay, so here's a monthly planner. We actually have 4 pages this year, and we start out with the reflection. So first you review your calendar and you jot down what's memorable for the month. These are just things that stand out to you. They stand out in your memory. They're the things you want to remember. It could be world events too, just anything that stands out as memorable. And then you have some prompts here. What are you proud of? What did you struggle with? What brought you joy? Next page, we move into fun territories. There's a bunch of prompts of things you are currently doing or did in the month. And then what were some of your favorites from there? So just looking over, what are you currently watching, reading, listening to, making, enjoying, or dreaming about? And then favorites from the month, what was your favorite food or meal, song, memory, purchase, place, thing that made you laugh. Page 3, we review our intentions. You write down what they were for the month and how it went. These all relate back to the front prep pages. Show you that really quick. You got your values, your people. I made an oopsie here. I can't believe I overlooked this when I checked the planners 3 different times, page by page. This used to be the previous title to this page, but it should be reminders. Ugh. So reminders or things, and then your year list. So So what were your intentions with these and how did it go? So after you fill in the table, you do a little journaling about what's working and what's not working. Lastly, we look forward. So we have questions here, open-ended questions. What are you looking forward to? What are you feeling challenged or worried by? What can you eliminate and or delegate? And are there any changes you need to make? Then you get to choose the upcoming focuses for the month, all relating back to those prep pages. So the 4 things here, and then you choose what is your priority. So these are your intentions for next month. So this will really help feed into this as you do your monthly review.
Reflecting opportunity number 4, seasonal reflections. So this is completely optional. You can also make this as fun or as serious as you want. So I think of this in 2 ways. You could reflect on the actual seasons, like winter, spring, summer, fall. Since I have elementary school age kids, this is what I do. I don't do all the seasons, but I definitely reflect on the summer, and I reflect on the school year as a whole. This helps me capture those priceless memories I don't want to forget. It helps me lay out the pain points, and then it serves my future self when I go to plan for that season next time. So you could do that, or you could break up the year by quarters and let it serve as a quarterly check-in for deeper insight into progress. So you can review your values or like major buckets from the last 3 months. Major buckets being something like work, relationships, money, etc. And then you can ask yourself, have my priorities shifted this season? What habits or routines are serving me? What's not? What do I want to focus on in this next season? Whole lot of more questions. You can just Google quarterly reflecting. Questions will pop up galore. So then as you plan ahead, you use this time to adjust those long-term intentions or goals if you are doing that, which of course feeds into your monthly planning, which feeds into your weekly planning, into your daily planning. Reflection opportunity number 5, yearly reflection. Also stone cold dead on this hill. So this is going to be a macro view of your life's progress. And I really don't mean progress as like productivity, hustle culture, anything like that. It's just your life has progressed through the year and you're looking back on it. Again, I'm not just trying to push Strata planners. Yes, I'm biased. I think they're great, but I just want to let you know you can do this in a journal, but Sprout a Planner has a built-in yearly reflection. Isn't that helpful? And it takes the guesswork out of how to reflect on your year when you already have so much going on. So let's take a look at that.
Okay, our year in reflection, we can have 4 pages of reflection. So you go back and you review your year. You review all your previous reflections. You just go through your planner, review your year. So you write down everything that stands out as memorable here. So you can see a theme here. Then you follow the journaling prompts on this next page. Page 3 here, you are looking back over the front prep pages along with your monthly reflections to see how everything turned out. So we really loop it all together here. So you're reading your hopes for the year, you writing about how everything turned out. You look back on what you struggled with, are there recurring themes, personal insights, looking at what you're feeling challenged or worried about. How did it all turn out? And then you go back to your values-based intentions. Did you do what you intended to do? So again, we're tying that whole thing back together here. Page 3, we have our fun page. So you're looking back on all the previous monthly reflections and writing down what your favorites were. So this is so fun. I love, love, love this.
Okay, the last point I wanted to make is how do you stay consistent in your reflection? So I actually looked this up because I had my own ideas, but I was curious. And I'm really excited to say that based on the answers I found, Sprout planners really make it easy to reflect. And here's how. The first suggestion I found was to make it a habit by tying it into an existing routine. Again, we talked about this earlier. It's a James Clear habit stacking concept. You tie reflecting into your planning routine. Again, go back and watch any of the videos in this how-to series, especially how to plan your month, how to plan your week, how to plan your day. And there you will hear me say, step number 1, reflect on the previous month, week, day. The second thing they suggested is to use prompts to help you not feel stuck when you reflect. The monthly reflection and the yearly reflection do exactly this. You simply answer the prompts and it takes the what do I reflect on paralysis out of the equation. And the last thing I kept seeing, keep a dedicated planner or journal for reflecting. Boom, is all tied together in your planner. So wrapping this up, I want you to know that reflecting isn't about perfection at all. It's not meant to be another dreadful task on your to-do list. It's about giving yourself permission to pause, honor your time spent, celebrate your wins, name your struggles, and inform future decisions. So how or where do we start? Normally, starting small is a great thing, but in this case, I'm actually going to suggest starting with the monthly reflections. When I was in my hardest season, when my dad was diagnosed with ALS and was steadily declining over those 2 years, which was also the exact same time I was a new mom, I had a very busy corporate job, and we moved twice within that first year of my daughter's life and my dad's diagnosis. I was only able to eke out the monthly reflection. And I made this a priority because I knew it was so important. These were the last years of my dad's life, and these were the first years of my daughter's life. I was so busy, so full of grief, stress, and dread that I knew I wasn't going to remember these things if I didn't write them down. Now, I don't go back and look at these on a regular basis, but I'm so glad that I took the time to do it, because first, it helps solidify it in my memory when I was doing it, and second, I now have a record if I ever want to look back on that impossibly hard and beautiful time. Reflecting is so important, friends. Please trust me on that. That's entirely why reflection is one of the 4 key pillars in Spread a Planner. It's intentions, people, simplicity, reflection. If you want to be more intentional about your reflecting this year, go ahead and grab a Spread a Planner. There's still more available at spreadaplanner.com. It's just a super simple way to get you in the habit of doing it. But of course, whatever works for you. If a journal or notebook works better, please, by all means. Okay, enough about me yammering on. Let's hear from you. What type of reflection do you already do, or do you want to start doing? Write those up in the comments below. I love to hear from you. So thank you for spending your precious time watching this video, and I will catch you on the next one.